Welcome to the Anthracite Model Railroad Society's stunning model train display, where history, craftsmanship, and a passion come together to create a miniature world full of life and movement. Today we'll take you on a journey through not just this amazing exhibit, but also the fascinating history of model railroading itself. Model railroading has been a beloved hobby for more than a century, capturing the imagination of generations. Its roots trace back to the 19th century when early enthusiasts began crafting miniature versions of steam locomotives that were revolutionizing transportation around the world. Here at the Anthracite Model Railroad Society, the legacy of this timeless hobby is on full display. The club has spent countless hours creating an incredible diorama that spans vast landscapes with trains winding through towns, hills, forests, and industrial areas. Every inch of this layout has been meticulously designed and handcrafted with attention to detail that brings it to life. Tell me about the track.
Well, these are the ties, and these are the spikes, and we placed one track at a time, carefully gauging it, of course, and this is all done on this portion from here up to there. And you can see here where there's actually gaps in the track.
This dedication to detail is what sets model railroading apart. It's not just about the trains, it's about creating a world. Members of the Anthracite Model Railroad Society, like other model railroaders around the globe, spend hours researching the real-world settings they're recreating, whether it's a specific time period, a geographic region, or type of industry. The result is always a miniature world that reflects both history and imagination. One of the things I enjoyed the most about the Anthracite Model Railroad the Anthracite Model Railroad Society's display is the fact that it's not just a train display, it's almost like a history lesson. It takes you through the historic town of Mauch Chunk, now known as Jim Thorpe. There are various buildings there that you will recognize, such as the train station, the Mercantile Building, the Lehigh Coal Navigation Building, and of course both the Asa and Harry Packard mansions that sit up on top of the hill overlooking historic Jim Thorpe. Another one of those little touches that bring it to life is they use the Hotel Juanita, which you guys know I am a big fan of the D&L. So anytime you can pull any kind of little bit of history in from that trail or the railroad through that area, I'm always kind of excited to get to see that. And they did build the Juanita on the hill overlooking the gorge, which is pretty cool. So as I mentioned, model training goes back to well over a century. In the 1830s, the first known model trains were created, often as toys for children, but they quickly gained popularity among adults. By the early 1900s, companies began to mass-produce model trains, and the hobby took off. The rise of electric trains in the 1920s brought a new level of realism and excitement, and model railroading became a pastime enjoyed by people of all ages. As you walk through the train display, you'll notice that there are various towns, Jim Thorpe, Weatherly, Hazleton, Pottsville, Eckley, Drifton, Jeddo. Those towns are historic for this area and for our nation as they're part of the Industrial Revolution, providing the coal for the Industrial Revolution or the wood. The club has done an amazing job at getting into the details of each of those towns, and this dedication to detail is what sets model railroading apart. It's not just about the trains, it's about creating a world. Members of the Anthracite Model Railroad Society, like other model railroaders around the globe, spend hours researching the real-world settings they're recreating. Whether it's a specific time period, geographic region, or type of industry, the result is a miniature world that reflects both history and imagination. So again, speaking on the detail of the town, We're looking at Hazleton currently. You'll see there's business names that are synonymous with Hazleton. And the Price's Dairy, they were a milk delivery company. They actually had a legendary horse and buggy that delivered milk up until the 1960s. And my guy Joe was telling me that the horse was so smart, it actually knew where to stop without the driver telling it. I found that pretty amazing. The club's layout also highlights the technological advancements in model railroading. From analog controls to modern digital systems, today's hobbyists have access to incredible tools that allow for precise control over every aspect of the train's movements. It's a perfect blend of tradition and innovation. And of course, it's not just about the scenery. The trains themselves are a testament to the craft of model railroading. Locomotives from different eras and regions run across the tracks, each with its own unique design and history. Whether it's a steam-powered engine from the 1800s or a modern diesel locomotive, each piece tells its own story. So you can see even the smallest detail on each home was brought to life. It's just incredible. The breaker in the background, the coal patch towns, the small little 2-scale people, which I believe a 6-foot man is about an inch tall in this scale. And each one is painted. It is just incredible. Their attention to detail is phenomenal. Now you'll see the Eckley Miners Village. If you guys follow my channel, you'll know we were just there. This is incredible. The mule barn. I mean, this is the gift shop currently. Beautiful shot of the downtown. I mean, this is just amazing. Amazing. So there you're seeing the Eckley breaker. That breaker was actually built to scale using plans for the original breaker. That breaker is more authentic than the breaker that was built for the Molly Maguires. This is one of my favorite parts as well. They built a tornado into the bottom for kids. You can push a button and spark that tornado off. If you look at the bottom of the tornado, probably one of the best details, I think, one of my favorite anyway, not the best detail necessarily, but there's actually a cow caught up in the tornado. Trains are phenomenal. There's my camping spot up there on top of the hill. Some Boy Scouts playing down below. If you look at some of the background here, you're gonna see the buildings. There's people in those buildings. It's not just the people. You expect to see people. You expect to see grass. You expect to see trees. Of course, you're gonna see trains. You're gonna see buildings. But if you look very closely, you're gonna see some details, such as the beef here hanging on the butcher shop. There's pallets where there should be pallets. There's trash where there should be trash. I mean, it's phenomenal. The attention to detail is amazing. Every time I looked at a different part of the village, I felt like I was finding something new. The gentleman there playing checkers. It's just that they're everywhere. There's little signs. This gentleman's taking a bath. The guy putting a sign up right here for the sarsaparilla soda. And of course the engineer and the train. Conductor, sorry. It's phenomenal. It's incredible. You have to see it for yourself. I very, very highly recommend taking a trip to Hazleton. If you could get in during one of the open houses for the Anthracite Model Railroading Society's open house, I believe they have another one coming up in July. Highly, highly recommend it. Take your time, go through the display, look over everything. At Bethlehem Steel, you'll notice they have a working sign. The steel stacks. Even between the buildings, you will see some things that are like the tiniest little details. Some drums, some storage, some pallets. It's amazing their attention to detail. Firefighters there trying to fight to put out that blaze. This gentleman here chopping wood. Hopefully he doesn't get sprayed by that skunk standing there in front of him. This was a cool little scene. I really liked it. It really came out really nice in the pictures. I'm just so amazed with the attention to detail. This is a metal shop. There's a cutaway on the roof. You can actually see into the metal shop, and that's what we're seeing right here. The old water towers, steam trains. Back in around the roundhouse, they actually have a replica of the 2102 steam train. This right here is really cool. You'll see the water tower actually comes down. The pipe actually comes down and fills the fills the train with water so the steam engine can continue to run. But it is... Let me be quiet for a second so maybe you can hear it. You can actually hear the pipe resetting, the clunking of the pipe. It's amazing. The littlest details you'll see throughout this display are just incredible. Of course, you can't have Pottsville without the D.G. Yingling Brewery, America's oldest brewery. They really did an excellent job of bringing history to life while they made this display. The town's representative are represented well. Many of the historic buildings right there were in Weatherly. We just saw a shot of the Charles Schwab School. Right there it is again. Sorry, the Mrs. Charles Schwab School. We'll actually be doing a story on Urana Park as well as his wife. They donated some land for the park. Now you're seeing the Drift and Breaker. Back in Hazleton, if you notice that stoplight way at the end of the street, keep an eye on that stoplight. Hope you stopped. Cedar Street, downtown Hazleton. Pine Street, downtown Hazleton. And this is just an overview of the second floor or second level of the display. If you see each one of those pictures, take some time and look at those photos, and then as you walk through the display, look for that. The photo may very well be represented on the display itself. Especially in Weatherly, there's a really cool little display there of a trophy-winning buck, and it's actually in the village if you look close enough. The old Hazleton train station, the Blue Comet, which is still open today, the Ashmore Roundhouse. It is a working turntable in front of that roundhouse. And then while they're doing some repairs on that steam locomotive. Again, I really enjoyed this display. I want to thank the Anthracite Model Railroad Society for inviting me to see it, and Joseph DeLuca for being my guide for the day. We took about 2 laps through And just, again, every time I would look at the display, I found something new, a new detail I might have missed. There's even rust on the side of some of the collieries, just to show how they would wear the donkey pulling. I mean, it is phenomenal. I highly recommend you getting a chance to check this out. Whether you're a model train enthusiast, a history buff, a local historian, or someone just looking for something to take their children to see, this is something that is very cool, and it spans all ages. Bring your camera, get a peek at days gone by, and enjoy this display. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day.